This is about protecting CyberArk Vault with Data Security Manager. But why do we want to do that at all? It's about better protection for your passwords. So consider you have a CyberArk installed already. This is your vault. And inside you have a few passwords and many more. And of course you need to encrypt everything to protect it in a better way. And you do that and you protect it with the CyberArk Vault key. So that is good. But now there are bad guys out there. They're hunting for you. We have a bad guy here. And he is able somehow to hack you and get access to the CyberArk Vault server. And therefore you will also get the encrypted passwords. That alone doesn't help him, but if he is able to access your CyberArk Vault key server, then he is also able to access the key itself. And together the password files and the key, he will be able to decrypt your passwords. So this is something that we really need to avoid. What can we do against it? We can install an external key store, and we, for example, use Data Security Manager. And inside of that, inside of Data Security Manager, we are going to have your CyberArk Vault key, and we are going to use this key to protect your vault. Why is this so different and why is this better? DSM utilizes an HSM, a hardware security module, which is pretty much the same as a safe, cryptographic safe for your keys. And now we have this bad guy who was just stealing your encrypted passwords, and he wants to get access to DSM and steal the key here as well, but this is not possible. He will never be able to get that key. This is what we want to achieve, and how do we what do we need to do to integrate CyberArk Vault with DSM? So first of all, we will use here a new connection, and this is using the interface PKCS11. And for that, we will also require a PKCS11 library inside of the Vault. So we will need to install it here. That's a P11 lib. And with that, we are all good, and everything is safe.
Now let's do the migration of the CyberArk Vault key to Data Security Manager. First of all, you see the CyberArk window. The server has not started yet. To connect to DSM, we require a PKCS11 library. This is available from the Photanix support page as an MSI installer. I have downloaded and installed it already. It is installed in this directory. Program files, Photanix, KMS client, and here you see the Photanix KMS PKCS11 DLL. There's also a config directory which is used to tell the PKCS11 library where to find DSM. To execute that, we just need to open a command prompt, and then we submit this command, Photanix KMS client config, then with this API endpoint. In this case, it's pointing to eu.smartkey.io. This is the DSM that I'm using for this demo. Next, we have to tell CyberArk where to find the PKCS11 library. And for that, we have to go to the directory of CyberArk. There's the conf directory, and there's a file called dbparam.ini, and right at the end we have to add 2 new lines. First of all, that's the HSM section, and then the PKSys11 provider path pointing to the Fortanix Chemist PKSys11 DLL. So I'll save this file and close it again. And then we need to authenticate to DSM, and for that we need an API key or a PKSys11 pin. And for that we are going to create here quickly a new file, which is called then API_key.txt, and the content is API_key equals and then 2 double quotes, and here we have to provide the correct API key. We get the API key from DSM, so first of all we will have to create a group. This group will contain the key later on that we will create. So we create a new group, we call it CyberArk Demo. And then we will have to tell I will have to create an interface so that an outside application is able to talk to DSM or to this group. So we will have to create a new app, and we just call that CyberArk-demo as well. And as authentication method, we're using API key. We are saving this. And now we have a new app, and this is also showing us here the API key if we click on this link. And this is the API key, and I just copy that into the memory. And we have to paste it then directly into this text file. We save this and close this file. Then we will have to tell CyberArk that there is a new pin for the HSM, and we do this with this command CA Vault Manager. And here we are using the parameter secure secret files, and at the end we're adding the new API key. So we execute this, and now CyberArk knows about a new pin that is to be used, and we can have a look at that if we go to dbparam.ini, and at the end we see here the HSM pin code, which was just added by CyberArk. The next item is that we are going to create here a server key, a new server key inside of DSM. So we are using again the CA Vault Manager, but here with the parameter generate key on HSM. And this may just take a while. So the key was generated on the HSM, and very important, we see the key ID for CyberArk is now HSM number 1. If we have a look at DSM and go back to our CyberArk demo group and have a look at the security objects, we will see that there's a new key which is called CyberArk server key. I can click on that, and here on the attributes tab I see that the CKI ID is 1, and that is referring to the ID of the key. The last step is now that we migrate or rotate the key and say that we re-encrypt the vault. For that, I'm going to use this command, change server keys, and as the last parameter, I'm using the key name HSM number 1. Now it's asked me whether I really want to do that, and I have to type yes. So this has worked pretty well. Let's just see whether DSM was doing something. Let's go to the info tab of the key, and we see that the key has done a couple of encryption operations already. Now we have to tell CyberArk that it's supposed to use a new server key. At the moment it's using a server key which is on the file system, but now we are switching to the key on the HSM, and that is now number 1, HSM number 1. That's the new key. So we save this, close it, and then we can go to CyberArk and say start the server. And we see that the server has started successfully.